Hello friends, now I'll be reading the Hindu editorial of 22nd March 2023 at 80 words per minute in 5 seconds. Begin. Darshan Solanki, an undergraduate student of chemical engineering at the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, ended his life on February 12, 2023. He was a Dalit. The institute formed a 12-member committee to conduct an investigation, which submitted its report on March 2. The report said it appears from the marks obtained in various courses that the performance of Darshan Solanki deteriorated, specifically in the second half of the autumn semester. His deteriorating academic performance could have affected him seriously. The report further said, other than the statement of Darshan's sister, there is no specific evidence of direct caste-based discrimination faced by him during his stay at IIT Bombay. Unlike the hard sciences, establishing causal links of discrimination is challenging. However, the lack of tools to establish causality does not negate the presence of discrimination. In thinking about marginalization, the tendency is to sympathize with the most victimized. While what is understandable, it should not dilute the many forms of discrimination. What is needed is not sympathy or band-aid empathy for the most victimized, but a constant engagement with the politics of assertion, because discrimination is not necessarily a one-off high-pitched melodramatic event of hurling abuses at somebody. It is a layered and continuous process that happens through everyday doses, steadily creating an atmosphere of us and them. It takes subtle, seemingly innocuous forms such as smile combined with frown, a wince, a hand gesture, or just silence. And a discussion on discrimination at the IITs needs to be predicated on a discussion on merit, as it is the embedded idea of merit that gives license to discriminate. The political philosopher Michael Sandel, in the book The Tyranny of Merit, presents a scathing critique of meritocracy as a social ideal and argues how hubris among the elites and a politics of humiliation are natural outcomes of meritocracy. This is not to suggest that every upper caste student at the IITs discriminates, or that every lower caste students feel victimized. However, some upper caste students at the IITs knowingly or unknowingly embody what Sandel calls credentialist prejudice as symbiotic or meritocratic arrogance. This happens when elites tend to look down on those who do not rise. Such an approach undermines social recognition and esteem for those who lack the credentials the system rewards. Variation of graded inequality and consequently discriminatory judgments about one's so-called abilities are deeply entrenched within the veneer of merit at the IITs. Soon after one enters IIT campuses, one steps into well demarcated zones of hierarchy. The first level of hierarchy is whether you are an undergraduate or a postgraduate student. Intermingling of these two cohorts was an exception than the norm, as undergraduates tended to feel superior to postgraduates. For undergraduates, one's abilities are immediately tattooed in the minds of everyone based on one's rank in the entrance exams. Much like the accident of birth, one's branch of studies is an accident of one's rank. This then becomes the unique identifier of this phantom called merit. Then slowly the lines between being objective and objectifying gets blurred. The accident of the branch of studies results in disinterest and disillusionment among some students, but it plays out differently among students across caste. On average, for some upper caste disinterested students, it becomes an opportunity to explore other facets, which then acts as a justification for bad academic performance in college. There is usually an implicit confidence among such students that they could be bailed out when needed, owing to their family connections, affluence, cultural capital, or social networks with successful people. These act as cushions for them to take risks in college. Think of how and whom you would refer for a job in your company where you get a referral bonus. However, and on average, even when some students on reservation feel trapped in a bench not of their choice, they do not have the luxury to explore or take the same kind of risks as their upper caste counterparts. More often, they lack similar connections, affluence, or cultural capital as their upper caste friends. An apprehension of being stigmatized for bad academic performance tends to amplify their anxiety and pressure. What these imply is that even the freedom to take chances is implicitly conditioned on one's rank and caste location. The buoyancy of youth is not equal for everyone. What merit completely fails to account for are the starting points, the trajectories, the social networks, the affluence, the prejudices, hardships, and innumerable other factors that shape us. Contrary to what we were told, we realized that it was never a level playing field. Metaphorically speaking, in a 100-meter race, people like us were running downhill, and many others from historically marginalized backgrounds were doing so uphill. In most cases, not only did our slopes differ, but also that some of us were just running. Stop. Please join the Telegram group in the comment section for